season, where it looks like it's raining millions of spiders everywhere you go.
I always wondered how people sent these kinds of comments and messages.
Hide all your sins before the day of judgment.
This police officer does not know that this is the moment that will change his life. He was called to a home to assist another officer on a case where they found a seriously injured little girl. She was regularly beaten by her mother and her boyfriend. Lieutenant Zach took the little girl back to the police department where she would be safe. As they waited for child services to show up, they ended up spending nearly 5 hours together, playing games and watching the Disney movie Wreck-It Ralph.
I'm a dime!
Right there, a remarkable bond developed. The girl melted the officer's heart so much that the next day he called DCS workers to ask about the girl, and they answered that the girl had also been asking for him regularly. 2 years later, after all the submissions to the law, Officer Zach adopted the little girl named Kyla.
What if everyone had 24 hours left to live? Let's find out. Let's say NASA came out and confirmed there was an asteroid heading straight to Earth that would end the life of everybody on the planet. Well, in the first 15 minutes, everyone would quit their jobs and money would lose its value. After 30 minutes, all prisoners would be released because it would be seen as cruel to keep them inside. But in the next 3 hours, there will be traffic jams everywhere as people try to see their loved ones. Following that, in 6 hours, all laws will be broken because there will be no cops on duty. However, in 12 hours, people will confess to their crush and apologize to the ones they've hurt.
Why you need to be a business.
So these two chicks straight up shoplifted $600 worth of stuff from a nail supply store in California. And then 5 minutes later, one of the girls returned because she was dumb enough to forget her fucking phone. And she demanded it back from the store owners like as if they're the ones that stole from her. The owner made a very simple deal, offering to give the phone back as long as they returned all of the stuff they stole. You'd think she'd be smart and take this deal, right? No. Instead, she plunged the owner to the ground and then started roughing up his wife at the register, who was also pregnant, by the way. And there are so many levels of idiocracy to this whole thing. 1, she was filmed on surveillance video doing the whole thing. Second of all, when she forgot her phone, she also forgot her license and her credit card, so this guy had her ID. And third of all, when she stole all the stuff from the store, it would only be charged as theft, which is a misdemeanor. But since she assaulted the people in the store, it upgraded her to a robbery, which is a felony. So these two chicks...
Yep, this is the most terrifying virus known by science with a 100% fatality rate and has infected South Carolina now. A cow in the U.S. is discovered to have a mad cow disease, meaning if you were to eat from this cow, you would develop a different brain disease that would shrink your brain and it will end you. South Carolina just got infected with its first cow with this, and people are terrified to fear it could spread to the other cows. And cooking the meat cannot kill this virus. Once infected, you would have 8 months to live before the virus completely takes over. But the symptoms are scary, as you would suffer from depression, loss of coordination, and memory loss. Well, that makes it easy to figure out. The only way to rid this virus once it's infected is to remove the parts of the brain that came in contact with the virus. However, as you can imagine, that is not going to be great. Luckily, the virus in the cow in South Carolina did not spread to the other cows, and these cases have been more widely spread in the UK.
There are no boys' names that start with an A and end with an N. Prove me wrong. There are no boys' names that start with an A and end with an N. Prove me wrong.
Hey Pakistan, what's happening with you? 56,000 schools here are closing because of an
Earth angel, Earth angel. Will you be mine, my darling dear?
Oh, it's a lot to bear the blood when
Skittles are becoming illegal. California has just passed a law that will outlaw the candy by the year 2027. And this is because a new Food Safety Act has just been passed that prohibits the use of chemicals that are found in Skittles. And the worst part is Skittles is not even the only candy that's being banned. It's also Pez, as well as hot tamales, double bubble chewing gum, and finally unspecified brands of soda. And as a result, people in the comments were really pissed to hear that this is happening in California, with some people joking around saying that double bubble should have been banned a long time ago, but then
I saw this dog on TikTok, so I decided to create and start selling my Betelgeuse, the 10th brightest star in the night sky.
One thing the world needs to know about us Canadians is that we celebrate Thanksgiving a month and a half before everybody else does. This weekend of October 9th is our Thanksgiving weekend, and Canadian turkeys are getting gobbled up. I don't really know why it's like this, it's just always been the way it is. I googled it, and the answer I found was because Thanksgiving originated purely as a harvest festival. And that cleared up absolutely fucking nothing. I'm actually even more confused now than before.
It wasn't until I was 17 and I found the video on YouTube calling me the world's ugliest woman with my photo and knew that over 4 million people had seen it. There were thousands of comments on this video, and I just sat there and scrolled through every single one and read every single one because I was so desperate to find one person that was standing up for me, and I never found it. I had my door slightly opened, and when I looked out, my mom was like directly in my vision, and she was just sitting there watching TV, and I knew if that video crushed me as much as it did, I couldn't imagine what it would do to her. It wasn't until I was 17 and I found the video on YouTube calling me the world's ugliest woman with my photo and knew that over 4 million people had seen it.
This video went viral after these people put a baby spy monkey in the monkey